let's say, Tracey Allmond. Tracey Allmond.
Experience. And I started with this theme, was called On Air, so I started off with On Air, up and away. I want to fly like an eagle, but I have so much to say. God made us all so unique, but I often wondered why people looked at me like I was a freak. Then I realized it was me being so light. Others were so much darker. Mills thinking I was white. My brother, who was much darker, me called him black boy, him called me white girl. Could have been I was from another, but no, we were siblings, both from the same father and mother. Growing up in a household with my mother subservient with two males, which was all she knew. Having the aura of old school, I got pushed aside and felt insignificant because unfortunately men did rule. Fighting harder for the need to be seen, had to be outspoken and smart. A black woman in a man's world, it took a lot of heart. Being judged by most, finding out the world's not fair, even being used as a token because being light with dark curly hair. The men loved me, called me red bone. The women threatened by me, which others was often caused me to be alone. So I hid in my schoolwork, wasn't aged to make my dad proud. But he never acknowledged it, so I stayed in the clouds, writing poems, music, and beats, saying, I'd be famous out loud. I'll say it again. I hid in writing poems, music, and beats, dreaming to make it big. Bought my first set of drums, couldn't wait until my first gig. With my drums pushed tight in the corner in the basement, I began to self-teach. But my dad made me get rid of them, saying they took up too much space, so my dream became out of reach. I came to believe my dad too was affected by the way of the world. His own securities made him threatened by his own little girl. Seeing again the big bad world's not the same. People will knock you down by playing their game. Don't let them deceive you, for the struggle is real. Sometimes I can't breathe. The loose tightening I feel. Look around, open your eyes. It's rigged, it's a setup. Believe it, it's systemic, excuse me. They'll punch you in your gut. And God forbid, if you're a single mom, it's hard to maneuver when you hardly have the time. They say it takes a village, which is so true. I was so blessed to have that foundation that stuck like glue. But a woman is an amazing creation, strong and fearless. I continue to raise my beautiful daughter without her father, killed to gun violence, despite the odds against us. Crack cocaine, easy to get, on every black corner. But it takes whites on opioids to call it a crisis. No wonder. I'll reiterate, systemic, prejudice, gentrification, even the government's policies, not in favor of blacks, poors, and the elderly. There's way too many adversities. I know, I shouldn't question why. Only God knows what's ahead for me. Why I aim to walk the right path, keep faith, and to wait and see. Through it all, I battled an illness, fibromyalgia, which is so much fatigue and pain. A diagnosis, even some doctors don't believe. It's a wonder I'm not insane. They say God don't give you more than you can handle. Well, God was really like me. And I told him jokingly, praying to my lit candle. Now it's my time to tap into my creativity. Stay away from the can't-dos and the don'ts and all those bringing negativity. From the songs in my head and the words that I speak, the dance moves I do, and with my drums that I beat. I'm gonna fly like an eagle so I can be free. So just be patient because God isn't finished with me.